The path to junior college baseball isn't cookie cutter, and neither is the desired result from it. For some, it's the path to a Division I program. For others who had already reached that level only to see it not work out, a juco is the way back. Then, there's junior college as a vehicle to the MLB draft. The end game of this opportunity differs for Georgia Highlands pitchers Brodie Chestnutt and Michael Sharman, but what they share as part of the staff is in finding a place where they could elevate themselves. In Chestnut's case, that meant recapturing what once made him a draft prospect, while Sharman built himself up for the eyes of power programs.
I think JUCO is an amazing spot, if you're not ready, like in my case, out of high school, or if you want to just get drafted.
Look, this thing is all about these guys, and I'm competitive. I want to win, I love to compete, so that part of me exists, and I'm never going to pretend like that we're not trying to compete, but what it's really about is it's really about giving these guys a chance to try to chase down their dreams and try to be, who they believe that they can be. And, sometimes you coach the game, but a lot of times you just coach the man.
With Chestnut, coaching the man meant providing an environment where an athlete could finally figure out what was holding him back. In May of 2021, Chestnut was putting the finishing touches on a dominant run in Houston County, capped by a gem at Atlanta's Truist Park that helped the Bears to a 6A championship. Chestnut, who was Prep Baseball's 10th ranked player overall in Georgia and the 4th ranked right-hander, was on his way to Florida State. At 6'4", 225 pounds, he was toting a 92-mile-an-hour fastball to go with a curveball in the 70s and a changeup that sat in the mid-80s. He was generating draft buzz, making it a question if he'd ever even make it to Tallahassee. But on the heels of COVID, the draft was cut in half, going from 40 rounds to 20, and Chestnut went undrafted.
I was thinking, I was going to get picked up maybe in the 10th, 11th round, but because of COVID, they went with the college guys that have, had the experience, and then I just decided to go to FSU.
During his freshman year at Florida State, Chestnut began having shoulder problems. He didn't pitch for the Seminoles and transferred to nearby Chipola with hopes that he could return to Tallahassee. But his shoulder issue only became worse, and compounding matters, no one could decipher what exactly was ailing him.
Somebody sent me a text and they said, Brodie Chestnut is looking to transfer, he's injured, would you be willing to talk to him? And so I was like, well, of course, and so he came up and we talked about his situation, and and he kind of went through the whole injury thing, and like I said, I just told him, I said, look, I don't know what's going to happen with the injury. I can't promise that we're going to get you right. We'll do everything that we can, and I'm going to keep you around here as long as you want to keep doing it, and if you never pitch for me but you're able to get healthy, that's okay.
Came here and met Coach O, he's been great. He has allowed me to just be free and to figure out what is going on. He has allowed me to have time.
What Chestnut did with that time was search for answers. He met with specialists, hearing everything from it being an extra rib to an impingement.
Truly, it was just probably overuse, and it just needed some time to just rest. And I actually did have shoulder surgery, but I didn't have a full repair. The labrum was frayed, but it wasn't frayed enough to where they needed to repair it. So I just went to a lot of PT, a lot of strengthening, hard work, early mornings, just strengthening it up, stretching it, and because of that, I am now climbing upward, and I'm increasing my use of it and getting back to where I was back in high school.
The investment coach and player made in each other came to a head on January 31st when Chestnut took the mound against Bryan College. In the first game he'd pitched in since the state championship for Houston County in 2021, Chestnut struck out 3 in 1 inning of work.
And he's just been in agony emotionally, I think, from not being able to compete, not being able to pitch. And so to see him go out there, and just him going out there was a victory. Our conversation when he came in here, was, look, I don't know if you'll ever pitch. You don't know if you'll ever pitch. We don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to I'm going to take a chance on you because you deserve a real opportunity to try and see if you can get back. And if you never pitch here, that's okay. I just want you to feel like you got a chance to do everything you could do. So that was really rewarding to see him.
Chestnut's Georgia Highlands chapter is marked by reclaiming potential, while Michael Sharman's is about realizing his own. In a story told throughout the country, Sharman's senior year was derailed by COVID. A first-team All-Region and second-team All-State pick as a junior at Etowah, Sharman had his final season of high school baseball wiped away as the world came to a halt. He took a gap year, reclassifying as a 2021, and found himself at Parkland College in Champaign, Illinois. Sharman pitched there in 2022, appearing in 11 games, all starts, with a 3.04 ERA over 56 in the third innings. He struck out 56 with 13 walks.
It was fun, cold though. So that's when I kind of decided, I kind of missed home, wanted to come back to Georgia. So I reached out to Coach Dash O'Neill, and we talked, and he said he would love to have me. And so that's when I came here last fall. And then I ended up tearing my ACL.
The injury happened in Sharman's first outing in the fall of 2022, and he immediately knew something wasn't right.
I did like a shuffle throw on the mound, and my back knee just caved in, and it sounded like you crunched like a chip bag. I knew something was wrong, but I went to the doctor, and they told me it wasn't my ACL, and they said it was just an MCL sprain. So I get the MRI. Turns out I had MCL sprain, partially torn meniscus, and a fully torn ACL. So that was kind of that news was shocking to me. So it kind of had to set in and be like, okay, well, now I got to get surgery and deal with this. So
Sharman had just experienced a jump in velocity, and there was self-doubt as to whether he'd lose a step when he finally made a return to the mound.
There was some, is the velo going to be there again? 'Cause I just had a velo jump right before I got hurt, so I was like, well, crap, I just had a velo jump. Is it not going to be there? And so, there's always kind of that self-talk that you have, but ultimately you got to stay confident through it all, and I know that my work ethic would get me back to where I am today.
In August 2023, he completed his comeback with his first live outing in nearly a year.
I knew my knee was going to be okay. I was wearing my brace all throughout the whole fall when I was pitching, but I definitely had a lot of nerves. It took me a while to feel like myself again on the mound. But it felt very good. It felt rewarding that, all the work that I put in, I had my velo, everything was there, my knee felt fine, and now I think it's only up from here.
In a testament to the power of social media, the footage of Sharman had an impact. It caught the eye of Tennessee coach Tony Vitello, who reached out to O'Neill to inquire about the lefty.
Yeah, I guess they saw a video, and we post some stuff and he posts some stuff, and somehow they got their hands on it. And Coach Vitello called me and just kind of said, look, I've had a lot of success with guys with a similar profile to what he's got, and does he check off your boxes? And so, that was an easy confirmation for me.
Dash texted me. I woke up one morning and I get this call from Coach Dash. He was like, hey, Coach Vitello just called me. I think he's going to give you a call. So I was like, okay. That's my heart sank. I was like, that's awesome. I get a call from Coach Vitello, and we talk. He said he liked what he saw. I sent him video and all this stuff. And next thing you know, I got on a visit, and then a few days later, I was just shocked for what I saw. So I decided to become a Vol.
Just 2 months after he returned to the mound, and before he'd ever pitched a regular season game for the Chargers, Sharman was a Tennessee commit.
It's crazy how things like that happen. You just, I pray about it. I work my butt off, and the stars just kind of aligned. It worked in my favor, I guess.
While there are aspirations for he and Georgia Highlands this season, His time with the program has unequivocally been deemed one of its success stories.
These guys come in here and they work their tails off, and I don't think a lot of people really understand what junior college baseball is all about and the sacrifice that these guys make. And with a guy like Sharman, and you know, where you watch this kid go through an injury and have to really repair himself mentally and physically and get back there, you know, and then he gets an opportunity to accomplish a lifelong dream. I mean, that's just an amazing feeling.